him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-muck-up, it's time for the only news that matters on Kiss Wednesday. And Kiss fans had much to celebrate in 1998 when the original lineup announced that they were returning for a new album. Paul Stanley of Kiss, Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley, and Peter Criss hadn't recorded since 1979's Dynasty, which meant Psycho Circus should be a record for fans to savor. Sadly, that wasn't the case. You know how excited I was? After seeing that reunion show, I saw it 4 times. Mind-blowing. Every show was top-notch. Amazing. And I'm a huge Kiss fan from the 70s, so I'm all excited when I heard they were making an album. I was like, oh my God, Kiss! Anyway, the album sessions began flowing after a hugely successful reunion tour that had taken up much of the 2 years prior to this. All things considering, the quartet should have been in top form for a long road stint, but the sessions proved to be highly disjointed. To get the album on track, the band called in Bruce Kulick, the guitarist who lost his job in Kiss when Ace Frehley stepped back into the fold. Bruce Kulick had joined the band in 1984 during the Unmasked era and remained for 12 years until Ace Frehley returned. As he reveals, he wasn't gone for that long. Paul Stanley of Kiss hired him to assist with demos for Psycho Circus. When the album sessions began to stall, they brought in, Bruce to help. He said it was flattering because I knew I wasn't fired. What are you talking about? He wasn't fired. You were fired. He said this before. Well, really, I wasn't fired for Kiss. They just replaced me and I've never been with them since, except in the studio. Anyway, he went on to say, they went off to do the original 4, which means you were fired. So it felt good. And it was ironic that I could do so naturally and performing with them. He'd go on to co-write Dreamin', which backfired later, with Paul Stanley of Kiss, and he played bass when it came to tracking the song, but some of his guitar playing can be heard. He said, I didn't play any guitar in the studio, but there is some guitar from the song Within, from a demo I did with Gene that they used. I played bass on quite a few songs, some of Paul Stanley of Kiss songs, and I was highly excited to be there. Said Ace Frehley and Peter Criss proved fringe characters during the record's creation, contributing to 3 songs each. The guitarist played lead guitar on Into the Void, and he co-wrote it with Carl Cochran. You Wanted the Best, and the Japanese bonus track, In Your Face. Peter Criss, meanwhile, only played drums on Into the Void and sings on You Wanted the Best and I Finally Found My Way to You. So what makes this album different than Dynasty? They haven't played together since Dynasty. Well, yeah, Dynasty's the same shit. He only played on Dirty Livin', and some say that he didn't even play on that song. I've read that's Anton Fig, but he did on Dirty Livin' supposedly, and he did on Into the Void, 1 song. Now Tommy Thayer, who would later fill Frehley's shoes in the band, described himself as the glue that kept the band together and the food the band was eating when I would go out and order it for them and bring it back. I also played lead guitar and bass on 2 songs. It might have not have been the reunion anyone dreamed of, but Kulick was simply happy to be involved. He said, I mean, they paid me well. They even rented some gear I had because they were looking for certain things. I never saw Ace Frehley or Peter Criss. It was just Gene and Paul Stanley of Kiss. So it was an interesting time. I was obviously flattered that I could help. It wasn't the magical record anyway, but it's another gold record for me to hang on the wall. The album debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 and was certified gold a month after its release. But its success was mired by Alice Cooper's lawsuit claiming Dreaming sounded suspiciously familiar to its 1971 hit, I'm 18. Kiss settled out of court. So I don't know, when they settled out of court, did they settle with some of Bruce Kulick's money too, since he was involved in it? That I don't know. But anyway, Bruce Kulick, who released a new line of period correct guitars inspired by his Kiss era, a stint that includes the worst gig of my life, is set to reunite with the band for a maskless show in Las Vegas later this year. Alright, I don't really know what the end meant, you know. A stint that included the worst gig of his life. I don't know, they don't go into it on this thing, but yeah, man, I was so looking forward to Psycho Circus, and I remember hearing the song Psycho Circus before the album came out, and that even made me more excited because I really liked the song. And at the time, I was thinking Psycho Circus was Ace, Peter, Gene, and Paul Stanley of Kiss, you know? And it turned out that it wasn't. But that really didn't mess it up for me. I still like the song the same, but it felt better knowing, oh man, listen to Ace and Peter back on a Kiss record. Hell yeah, well, and that's what I thought for years. The next song, Within, I don't know. I think back then I liked it. I'm listening to it now. See, I put on Psycho Circus, the vinyl now, because I never listened to this album, ever. I have it on my iPod Shuffle, like a couple songs that I love off this album. 3 songs are on my iPod Shuffle. Now, one of them will pop up here and there, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. You know, it'd be a great 3-song EP. But Within, I don't know. I'm listening to it now, and I'm like, ugh. And I'm glad I didn't put that on my iPod. You know, back then I thought, hey, that's all right. Now it's like, really? You later on went and did Sonic Turd, that Sonic Turd album, where all of it sounds like 70s Kiss. You couldn't do like an album like that during this time. It's ridiculous. You know how successful it would have been if they did more of a 70s sounding album, but with songs that are good, unlike the ones on Sonic Turd? It would have been great if they wrote some great 70s hard rock. But this Within crap is, it's of the time. It's dated now, but it's, you know, kind of grungy, crazy, stupid. And it sounds like it could have fit fine on Carnival of Souls. That song blows now I hear it. And then the next song blows as well. I pledge allegiance to the state of rock and roll. Way too many anthems. Albums, if you're going to have an anthem on an album, make it one anthem. But no, not on this album. And this song sucks. This one, man, I should have known. I should have known. When I first heard this, I was like, that ain't Ace and Peter. And yes, I know there are going to be many comments of people leaving comments saying, I knew right away it was Ace and Peter. All right, okay, fine. You're Nostradamus. I didn't know. I had no idea. And I'm thinking, yeah, they're playing on these crappy tunes now. And then the next song really disappointed me because Ace Frehley's my favorite member of the band, and they bring him back with this song. It's not good. It's, you know, not the worst thing I ever heard, and believe me, I've heard worse Ace songs like Two Sides of the Coin, you know, but it's still weak. It's like, it's not bad, but, you know, to live up to the only song that features all 4 original members, Gene, Paul, Ace, and Peter, it's very disappointing that this is the return of Ace. Shit, I thought that bonus track, In Your Face, that Gene Simmons wrote and Ace Frehley sang is better than this song. And not that In Your Face is great or anything, but it's definitely better than Into the Void. By the way, it's just my opinion, alright? Alright, next. My favorite song off the album, We Are One. I will say this, it shouldn't be on the album. It should be on a Gene Simmons solo album. This shouldn't be on a Kiss album. I can even accept Into the Void on a Kiss album, because at least it's got somewhat of a Kiss vibe. And it's the only song on the album to have that Kiss vibe. Where, to me, it shows, I mean, I may not like the song, but Ace and Peters played fine on it. They should have played on the whole album, just with different songs. But We Are One is my favorite song off the album. I love it, chock full of melody and hooks. I just think it's an amazing damn song. And yeah, I'm surprised to see how many people out there like We Are One, because for years people were like, what the hell's wrong with you that you like this song? Have you lost your mind? I'm like, dude, I lost my mind way before I met you. Shut up. I love We Are One. I think it rules. All right, next one. The opposite of ruling is You Wanted the Best. Oh, Jesus. And yeah, this features Peter Criss too, but not playing drums. Ace does the solo on this. Stupid. Beyond stupid. And what the fuck is the ending? The ending is as confusing as Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. You know? No more war. No. What is they saying? No more war? I don't know. It's stupid British accent. It sucks. It's a horrible song. I don't like it. Next one, Raise Your Glasses. I don't like this one either, but I like the version that's on the single because they added some stuff to it. It's okay, but here, another stupid anthem, you know? Put this on a Paul Stanley of Kiss solo album. Be better there. I like this song, but not this version on the album. And the next one, I finally found my way. Where do I start? All right, here's where I start. It Sucks. And to go on more, it's written by Paul Stanley of Kiss and Bob Ezrin. And were they really thinking for a second, oh my God, we're recreating Beth. This is going to be as big as Beth. Really? Did they actually think that? They must have. They must have. And man, how much money did they pay Peter Criss to like this? I mean, this shit is bad. This shit is so bad, it would fit fine on Peter Criss's solo album, All for One, or One for All, whatever that crappy album's called. Song is terrible, it sucks. And then Dreaming. There's the one Bruce Kulick helped write. I never liked it. I never noticed that I'm 18. It's a ripoff of my I'm 18. And the reason I never noticed it, because I like I'm 18. I would never think in a million years Dreaming was inspired by that and kind of sounded like that. I didn't hear it. So in other words, Kiss did a song called Dreaming, ripping off Alice Cooper, but making it shittier than the original version. Then it ends with Journey of 1,000 Years, another song that should be on a Gene Simmons solo album. I love this song. I think it's a fantastic ending to the album, but it's not a fantastic ending to a Kiss album or an album that features Ace Frehley and Peter Criss, as they said was going to happen. Bunch of horse shit. But anyway, yeah, I was really bamboozled by Kiss. And I think most of us, this was pretty much our last bamboozle. It was mine. Because after that, I went to the farewell show, and then when I found out it wasn't a farewell show, I didn't feel bamboozled, because that shit was the farewell tour to me. Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. After that, that was it. If you didn't have the original four up there and you replace them with people in Ace Frehley and Peter Criss makeup, get the fuck out of here. The farewell show was a farewell show for real Kiss. That's how I feel. I know a lot of people feel different, and if you feel different, leave it in the comments below. And that goes for everybody else, man. Even if you agree with me, disagree, leave it in the comments below. I would appreciate that. And thank you so much for watching The Only News That Matters. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. ring that little notification bell, and like the video, because that's good for the YouTube algorithm. So stay frosty, listen to Black Sabbath, and smack 'em a cob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.